Ladies and gentlemen, the moment is here. The main event of the evening. I'm Jeremiah Gallegos, your world-class ring announcer, to introduce Soap Boxing Podcast. And now, to introduce your host, Derek, a.k.a. Coach. And across the ring, introducing Matty Fresh. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's golden time. Time to tune in.
What's up, guys? Coach here. I want to encourage you to visit itrboxing.com for all the latest in boxing news, results, and interviews. My partner, Lukey, is a boxing insider who has access to camps, fighters, and coaches. He promotes the sport on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Search ITR Boxing everywhere and get inside the ropes with my main man, Lukey. Coach Derek here. I wanted to invite you guys to follow our new sponsor, Fighters Rep. It's a California-based premier kickboxing promotion that features some of the best pure strikers on the planet. Fighters Rep utilizes the IKF's unified kickboxing rules, prohibiting two-handed clinches, ensuring that participants stand and fight. Please follow Fighters Rep on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, and be sure to check out fightersrep.com to keep up with their scheduled events, merch, and viewing options. failed to post on Facebook. Recently posted something that violates. All right, so we live on YouTube, man. Damn, ain't that some bitch.
Can you hit the intro?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit it right now.
How's it going, guys? This is Coach Derek, and it's your boy Manny. You want to remind me?
And I'm sure it fits some people all good.
Oh, look at this hardware, man. S-E-A-A-B-O. Got the Latin American camera. Showing it for the camera. Now
They got some trainers say, and some fighters say, well, I don't watch videos of the guy fighting. I let the coach watch it. This, hey, man.
Guys, one thing we know for sure about Wilder, he hit you clean. Right. And this woman whooped the whole world twice. The whole world.
We are
the
live.
whole world.
Good morning. We are live with Coach Manny Fresh and Miranda
What's the
Reyes.
dang deal?
What's going on, lady?
Good. Good morning.
What'd you say, Fresh?
Thanks for having me.
I don't care. I don't care how many times I hear that intro. It still gets me hyped up, man. That's fucking. I love that intro, bro.
Yeah,
That intro gets me hyped up.
that's part of my, I graduated summa cum something in production. Nah, man, I'm freestyling all that shit. You know that. Miranda.
That's good stuff.
So I met Miranda at the UFC Fight Pass show.
No. Theater. You don't even.
Where I met you at? I'm sorry.
Galveston.
Huh?
In Galveston.
Galveston.
Oh, okay. I knew I was somewhere.
I like Miranda already. She ain't gonna let you make it. She gonna be like, nope, that ain't it.
At all. I met you through Lyncho though, right? Lyncho introduced me. Yeah, I know. I remember that. And come to find out, I recognize you from being over there at James Prince,
Mhm.
which is where you train at, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Under who's your trainer? Uh-oh. Somebody called her. It froze up. You got a call or no? Miranda, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I say, who's your trainer over there at J Prince? I didn't hear you. You didn't
Kay
get through.
Koroma. He's my head coach.
Yeah,
K,
yeah.
Coach
She.
K.
So now I'm gonna go ahead and let you tell me. Tell me about your background. How you got started in boxing initially?
Okay. Um. Well, I started liking it when I was little, cause I'm a girl and I have two brothers, and I'm the little one, so it was just fighting all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What
And then,
nationality are you, real quick? What
huh?
nationality are you? What nationality are you?
Um, Hispanic.
And a Mexican, Honduran, Salvadorian,
Yeah, I'm Mexican.
Mexican. Okay, yeah. So in a Mexican household, that's what we do. We grow up fighting.
Yeah, we grow up fighting.
Yeah.
So you was your brothers, uh y'all was rough and tumble, and what happened? How they ended up at a boxing gym?
Yeah, well, I would fight my brother and all that. So from there and just, watching TV, Mexican households, like, we're into boxing. Boxing is like, in our veins. I don't know, like the whole Mexican, y'all like boxing. So
Right.
from there, watching TV, watching fighters like Canelo all the time. And, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I want to start doing that. So I had to, I don't know if y'all know him, Hector Rocha's boxing team.
Rest
Uh-huh.
in peace. Yeah, yeah.
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 I started with him long time ago when I was like 15.
Mm.
And from there, like, I just started practicing, like, but he started noticing that I was good, so he just threw me into the pros.
Yeah. How
Ain't
So
old
that
were you when you started boxing?
I was 14, about to turn 15. I'm 20 right now.
Okay, so you've been doing it for about 5 years.
Yeah. So from
so? I did a little homework, and
Mhm.
my man tell me, he said, man, you know Miranda, man, she ain't got no amateur fights, man. I said, what? He said,
Yeah.
nah. He said, nah, bro. She was fighting for Rocha, and she just went. I said, well, how the hell she's 4-0? I said, man, how is that? And I done watched the fight, right? So I'm like, man, this is very, very unusual. Not people not having amateur fights to turn a pro. People not having amateur fights turning pro and winning. That's the
Yeah.
difference right there. That's a huge difference. And he was like, yeah, bro. And he said, uh, are you? And I'm talking about my man Carlos. He said, Carlos Moreno, Coach Carlos Moreno. He said, man, I use her for her and Carmen go at it. Man, that girl can fight. I said, I know. I said, man, that's crazy. And and he said, yeah. He said Rocha and he passed away. And I guess you just walked into James Prince gym. How did that happen?
Okay, so yeah, so everybody at Rocha's was fighting for his place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody wanted to be the coach, everybody wanted to,
Take over,
be the
take the
boss.
mantle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I heard stories that Rocha started at Jay Prince long time ago, across from the street where Jay Prince is at. So I was
Mm.
like, everybody would tell me about that gym, like, oh, it's a nice gym, everybody works hard, this and that. So I was like, I gotta go there and check it
Uh-huh.
out. And that's when I walked in there,
When was this, baby? How long ago?
like a year ago.
Let me tell you something, man. In case, and I'm sure you know, but just in case you don't know, to walk in James Prince gym, I mean, it's several coaches over there. But then to link up with Kay,
Yeah.
that's the special part, because I would have just off just me and Kay's relationship. and just going off of his usual, I would have guessed Miranda fresh. I'd have said Miranda's a 10-time national champion or something, man, and she done, you know. So for him to see you and start coaching you, training you, and you can fight, man. This is a hell of a story. I'm gonna tell you. I'm already a fan, so when I found this out, I said this is unbelievable because you're with in my opinion, and I'm very opinionated. In my opinion,
No.
you were one of the best trainers in the nation to me.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. That's crazy, man. That is crazy.
I mean, but just think about it though. If someone walked into the gym, someone came into the grind on Monday and came up to you and say, "Hey, listen." First of all, if someone came in and said, "Man, I have 50 amateur fights and I want you to train me, and I'm undefeated as an amateur," I know you already by this point. You still gonna make them go through all kinds of fucking
yeah, you ain't man.
loops and shit before. So for her to walk in and not, I mean, that's really got to say something about A, your character, and B, your talent. For someone like Kay to say, okay, I'm going to take you on.
Yeah.
Miranda, fresh is my witness here. There's winning pros that walk into the gym and be like, "Coach, I need you to train me," and nah, man, I ain't interested. And because of what I know about them or what I see their work ethic is or whatever the case may be, because it doesn't matter to me. I'm not just down there training just anybody, you know. Because I've done it long enough to know I don't want to waste my time doing it. So yeah, I think it's a very big deal for to walk in that gym and link up with a train. You know how many dudes, I'm telling you, you know how many dudes it is right now? Kay only been in Houston for a year, maybe, as long as you or whatever. And how many dudes I've watched show up on Saturday sparring and shit, doing a unsolicited tryout. I know what they doing. Kay knows what they doing.
Putting on an audition.
Yeah. We know what they doing. And it's just like, all right, dude, see you later. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. But I didn't mean to cut you off. So you walk in the gym, you end up with Kay.
But it was mostly like, yeah, I walked in, you know, the fee, whatever. So yeah, I just started training, and well, like no one really cared about me, you know. I was just hitting the bag, minding my own business. You know, I just like boxing, and I was just doing my own thing. And I guess I didn't even know Kay, to be honest. I didn't know who he was. And I remember he was training Shakur next to me, and I was just, you know, minding my own business. I guess he liked my ethics, my work ethics or something, that he saw something in me. And that's where he started like telling me, "Hey, I got some girls you can spar, blah, 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 this and that." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll come." And well, I sparred 2 of his girls, and I mean, I don't think I did bad. I did all right. All right. Yeah. And
so
that's from where everything started coming.
And he was like, "Come on, I'm gonna train you." That's you may have didn't know who that fella was, and then you started training with him and watched the fights one night. See him on TV in every corner.
You see him on TV. That's my coach.
Yeah, that's how I was like, whoa, hold up.
That dude, hey, yeah, that dude's
serious.
got some top guys, man. That dude got some top guys, absolutely.
When you seen him working with Steven, did you know who Steven was?
Yeah, I've saw him around. Yeah. Okay. But
Miranda,
not him, you know.
What's been the initial, because like you said, it's been a year. What's been the initial main difference between training under Houston staple, Hector Rocha, been around a million years. Everybody in the community knows who he is, and he's missed here locally. To training with a guy from the north, I guess. Where's Virginia? Northeast, I guess. A national Olympic coach. What's been the biggest difference? Have you noticed? Good or bad, it don't matter. Just the difference in being trained by another guy, I guess.
Well, with Hector Rocha, it was. I mean, he was already old. You know, he was a good trainer, but he was already old, so he couldn't really do much. And I mean, he always said, if you really want it, you're the one that's gonna do it, because I'm not gonna be around babysitting you. You know. And I mean, that's with Kay too. But I feel with Kay, there's more training, I guess. Because with Hector, it was just gym and that's it. And just go run. And with Kay, it's more like strength and conditioning. Like, I pulled up and, like, let me tell you, the beginning with Kay was really hard with me. Really hard with me. Like, I literally would cry, like, going back home, because, you know, he would put me to spar with people, like, higher than me, and I would get beat up, you know?
Right.
But, I mean, it's good because a lot of people tell me that, man, you're just being a bag for them and all that. Like, you know, they were mad, I guess, or I don't know. But I don't see it that way.
That is in... Hello? You still on? You can hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
I don't, again, me and Kay is homeboys, and he's been in the corner with me a couple times. I don't see him utilizing somebody to beat up on, you know, as far as without an objective. I don't see that. I clearly don't do that. So I don't think I wouldn't see that. If there was a method to the madness, is what I'm saying. I would guess. I don't see him saying I'm gonna take.
Would tell me that.
She's sitting there 4-0. That's a hell of a fucking heavy bag.
What it is. Listen, man. And Miranda's been around long enough still, since 14 years, 20 years old. Say, man, these guys in boxing, bro, it's really, they some catty mother. You know what I'm saying? They really, you know, everybody's bad mouthing everybody. It's why I do my bad mouthing to their face. That's why I do that, because I know you got an opinion you ain't sharing with me. So I'm gonna share my opinion to you and let you know what I think. And they had a guy helped out the other day, a coach, and he goes, Coach, I appreciate everything you helping with. I said, look, man, only thing you owe me is defend me when I ain't around, bro. If a motherfucker say Collinsworth ain't shit, you say, nah, you ain't shit, man. That's bullshit. That's all. Because I'm going to keep it moving. Because if they tell me that, I'm going to tell them how I feel right then and there. So it's real catty, man. It's real. Dudes in boxing is strange to me that coach, like somebody would approach Miranda and be like, oh, they just using you. But, man, that's. And when I say catty, some of these men I ain't just saying they girls, and I ain't trying to downplay girl. I'm a huge women's boxing fan, but yeah, you got to take that and let it roll off your back, man.
Yeah, that's how I was. I mean, I really don't care, you know, like to me, all those little difficulties that I had in the gym, starting with Kay and everything, like they helped me to be where I'm at right now, you know?
Right.
So I don't care what people say or think of me or whatever, or, you know, if the workout is hard, I'm gonna still do it.
You know, and I want to reference Derek's question and your answer. You know, comparing the two different coaches. You know, sometimes you got to understand too that without going through what you went through with Coach Rocha, you wouldn't been able to handle what you're going through with Coach K. You know, you said Coach, you know,
absolutely.
Coach, without Coach Rocha, you know, it's all about gym and running. Well, without all that gym and running, that's what prepared you for the next step and the next level. And so a lot of fighters and anything really in life and with what you're going through, you have to understand that sometimes you got to go through the most basic, simple stuff and master that so you can get to the next level.
Yes.
Especially when you're doing something extraordinary as having no amateur fights and turning pro and being undefeated. So always look at that like you needed what was it, 3 years that you spent with Coach Rocha before you came to Coach K, or 4?
Yeah,
3
like
or 4?
4.
Right. So you needed those 4 years of that foundation so you can now do what you're doing. So I mean that's just an amazing testament to old school boxing, to this new, okay, well, Coach K, what do you put him under, old school or new school?
No, man, he's to me he's he would fall under new school for me.
Right?
Because I'm an old school guy, because I don't know how to do it no other way. And the difference with me is this: when the new school started showing up, my opinion is what my opinion always has been. Does it work? All right, if it works, let's go. I don't give a damn what nobody else is doing, because this thing is so dependent. Coach Rocha gave Miranda a jewel when he said, "It's on you."
Mm-hmm.
It really is on you. Now, you need some leadership. You need somebody to guide you through the maze, but it's in the end, it's on you. So each fighter is different. Each fighter has their own everything. Everything is so what I may train Miranda. Perfect example. Danger, Bam Bam, and Quentin. I developed all 3 of these kids from the ground, from their first lacing up their gloves. I'm the one who taught them how to box. All 3 of them fight completely different. Manny, would you say? All right. Why? Because of my understanding.
It's a different ass whooping from each one every time I get in there with them.
Exactly. and I pride myself with being Manny's real coach too. His first real coach. He fights masters, Miranda, in case you didn't know. He's a boxer, not only just a gym owner, but he's a boxer. So let's add Manny to that. Manny, Danger, Bam, Quentin. You think you gonna come fight my guys and you're gonna have an advantage because, okay, Bam is 5 foot nothing. Danger's 5'8", Quentin 6 foot. So all right, if I give me a size advantage in that, no, they all fight different. They all fight their own style of fighting with a set of fundamentals that I believe in sharing. That's the difference. So how the hell am I gonna look and somebody bring some new shit? Man, when Quentin made the team in 2016, he would come back home and he'd be like, "Coach, man, we doing this and this and this." And I'm like, "Show me." And and not all of it I agree with, of course not. We left that shit alone. But for a lot of it, particularly the strength and conditioning stuff he was learning in Colorado Springs, and those type and things that now that Kay is in Houston and we kick it now, that I see him doing, I see come specifically. I don't know, had he brought it up there, learned it up there, whatever the case may be. We keep what works and get rid of the bullshit. And what works, what we keep and works for Miranda might not work for Manny.
Yeah.
Manny, leave that shit alone. Miranda, do more of that shit, and we're gonna keep it moving. That's and to me, that's beware. I always say beware of the brave coach and beware of a brave coach. They ruin people. Secondly, I would say beware of a coach that says my shit's the best. My boxing's the best, because a guy like that's gonna always blame the fighter for losing. Well, you didn't do this enough. You didn't do that. Nah, man, you think how I am practical. The stark difference between Rocky Marciano and Tyson Fury, right, is night and day. They both was heavyweight champions of the world. So you can't sit and say this is right and this is wrong, but there's right and wrong for your fighter. There's right and wrong for your particular fighter. Now, a good coach understands that, recognizes, stops doing things that ain't working for them. And I would say Miranda being with Coach K and Coach K experience and dealing with so many, a multitude, you know, up there in Colorado Springs. I know Jeff, my homeboy Jeff was like, Coach, you need to come up here and train it. I said, I don't want shit to do with USA boxing, bro. Nothing to do with it. Because why? I know my own limitations. Meaning this. If I'm gonna train Miranda Reyes, me and Miranda Reyes gonna have a relationship, and we're gonna build it, and we're gonna grow, and she's gonna become better. Because if she's not becoming better, I'm gonna say, baby girl, this shit ain't working. Let me point you to the best guy I know of, because I know some great trainers, and I think you'll fit better here. You'll fit better. Because at the end of the day, if Miranda ain't winning, I ain't winning. I don't want to get in there and lose. I don't like to lose shit. I don't want to lose tic-tac-toe, let alone a fist fight. That's the difference, man. And I think with Kay dealing with all those people being up there in Colorado Springs with that big ass team and finding ways to work them all out as a team and all that shit. That's why I think that fella can deal with all them fighters. Man, that dude got buku fighters over there, man. I don't even want that many fighters. Fresh to tell you, that's too many fighters, man. I don't want nothing to do with that shit. Because the way I do things, I need this particular guy. I need to value this particular guy. He needs to value me, and then we can be successful. But Kay coming from that Olympic team, like my buddy Jeff in San Antonio, they know how to do that team environment. I know how to do a team environment, but it's a small team.
Yeah.
I don't need 20 fighters. I don't want 20 fighters, and ain't finna deal with 20 fighters. I know my own limitations. And I point out good coaches to people all the time that I think will help them with their particular style. But Miranda fell into a hell of a situation, man. And it's not just Kay over there, man. Kay got some help over there that's very involved with boxing and knee deep. And I'm sure just having that amount of fighters around you, man. This girl's in the gym with Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, my personal favorite. Kenny, my man Kenny, that's a bad dude, bro. People, I was telling everybody he was gonna whoop that Cuban. No, not the Cuban. Who he whooped? Fresh? The Elvis kid. What? He wasn't Cuban. What is it? Dominican. Dominican.
Oh, Dominican. Yeah.
I told everybody, listen, all my friends in boxing and the boxing media and shit, when they was looking at this Elvis, because they was on this Elvis kid, I said, man, look, Kenny Sims Jr. is gonna watch this fucking kid. Man, you tripping. Listen what I'm telling you, bro. I watched this dude fight. I watched this dude fight me. Him and Quentin going at it. I say, nah, this dude's gonna watch that limited ass dude. Man, Kenny Sims went up there and shined like new money, man. So Miranda being around these type of fighters and Jared when he's there, it's buku. I don't want to forget and miss nobody. It's buku fighters up there and great fighters, and they all skilled boxers, man. She fell into a hell of a scenario, man. It's just out of this world, man. And I'm sure she appreciates it.
Being 4-0 and you coming from a Mexican family, everyone grew up watching these fights and getting together and how does your family, what does your mom, your dad, your brothers, how do they feel about you turning pro the way that you did, you being undefeated? What's their view on all this?
They don't my mom to this point, she has not been able to watch me spar or she has not attended a fight. That's how hard it is.
But she's supportive, right?
Yeah, they're supportive, but they're like, I'm not gonna go watch you get beat. But I'm just
tell them, hey, I'm 4-0.
Yeah.
My mama must have didn't love me. She told me fight. Better get your ass out there and fight, man. Nah, I'm just picking. Yeah. So tell me about my man Flick, man. What role he plays in your team?
I could say I'm really close to Flick. Mm-hmm. He whenever Kay's not here, he's the one that be training me, telling me what to do, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. I see him around. I see him around the amateur shows and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he from here? Oh, is he from up north somewhere?
Up north, I think Washington. I'm not sure.
Yeah, is he connected? He's connected to Jared, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I see him, but I see him here locally at the amateur shows and all that stuff. Every pro show, so he's knee deep in it. Hey, Flick messaged me on the soapboxing thing. He said, man, Lecho told me to contact you, man, from Miranda to get on y'all show. I asked, I said, Flick, bro, it's me. And I said to my regular things, oh shit, man, put my girl on the show. I said, all right, bro. But he don't know. I asked Miranda, I say, hey, I says, man, come on my podcast. We need to talk your boxing, help you promote it. I don't like talking to nobody, man. I said, damn. She stiffed on the shit out of me, man. I walked up feeling bad, man. I needed an end. That's all. My man Flick plugged it up. That's all. That's what happened. Yeah, he said, oh shit, my bad, coach. Connection. I didn't know that was you. Yeah. So he cares about you. And I tell you what, Lencho, he's in your corner too. What do y'all use it for? He's a cut man in your corner, or what is he?
Yeah, he wrapped my hand and he's a cut man. He for my third fight, he went with me to Mexico over there because they didn't have their passports ready. So that's where Lencho came in.
Let me tell
you talking about. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, man, that's a great guy, man. I really, hey, he's while we talking about coaches, let me tell y'all something. My man Bobby Benton ain't getting enough in boxing circles, as big as he is, huge as he is, and deep seated as he is in Houston boxing, man. I be seeing some shit I don't like, and that's my dude, man. That's my dude. Me and Bobby Benton go back 21 years, man. And so when I meet anybody through Bobby, I already know. I don't even do the background check. I'm like, all right, Bobby got this dude around. He's a good dude. And so Lencho, we kind of just became friends organically. You know what I'm saying? Through seeing him through the fights at the gyms and all that. Man, that's a great guy, man. That's a hell of a guy to have in your corner for whatever reason. If he got a reason to be there, that's good to have him in the corner. Be it wrapping hands, cutting whatever, training, whatever, man. I really like that guy, man. He's 100% genuine, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Fred. What you were saying?
No, I was going to ask. I know she talked about some of her sparring partners. You sparred Carmen, but who else do you use for sparring around here in Houston, or how does that work for you? Because for women's boxing, it's hard to get good sparring in.
Miranda, tell him what. Well, I'm gonna tell him. Danger seen the ad for Miranda on Instagram. He messaged me right away. He said, Coach, I know who that girl is. I said, yeah. He said, man, she punched the shit out of me, man. One day we was doing the drill. She punched us way harder than the boys over there at J. Chris. I said, all right, bro. I said, yeah. Danger knows her personally. Oh, nice. What's some of the sparring you get, baby?
Well, yeah, it's always been hard for me to get sparring, even like coming down like with Rocha. Like at Rocha's, I will only spar guys all the time. So I guess that's where my toughness, comes in. But over here at Jay with Kay, I spar with Isamari. I don't know if.
Oh yeah, she's been on the show.
Yeah,
she's been on the show.
She a tough one, man.
I'm a fan. Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
They had some other girls over there. I couldn't tell you who they are, but I thought they'd be with Freddie and them's dad. You know what I'm talking about? Don't he got some girls over there training?
Yeah, I think they come from Dallas. I'm not sure what their names are, but for the most part, my sparring partners are always Carmen and Isamari.
Man, that's
well. What do you think about Carmen's debut and then her second fight that she had? What was it, last weekend?
Yeah.
They fought on the same card, right?
Yeah, we fought.
They was on the same card. She got a knockout, and Carmen unanimously won every second of the fight.
Yeah, Carmen's a tough one too. She's a tough one too.
I had to tell Carlos on the phone the other day. I said, man, let me tell you something about this Carmen Vaughn. Like I could tell him anything about Carmen Vaughn. Man, that fucking girl's impressive, man. She's impressive, man. I don't know if people paying attention, man. The way Carmen, you owe me a you ain't been on the show in a while. You owe me you was an amateur last time you was on this show. The
last time she was on the show, she came on with Jesse, and she was quiet, calm. Like I would have never expected watching her debut.
That's a bad girl, Jack.
And I think about the interview that we had with her and Jesse. I was like, what the fuck? That ain't the same. It was like one of them. It was like one of them over the top scenes when Sylvester Stallone turns the hat over. When she gets in that ring,
she's a killer.
She gets in that ring, yeah, man. Boy, she calculated.
Technically, bro. Technically
calculated.
While going forward, Carmen will touch that body. She never neglects the body. Comes up to the head, double hooking and shit. Man, Carmen's gonna be successful as shit, bro. That's my prediction. I see world champion. And the thing about and what Miranda got to remember too. You girls, y'all get fast tracked. So I mean, she's fast tracked. She went to the pro game. She skipped. I'm sure she did hard as sparring, but she fast tracked into that professional. Yeah. Gals, 8-9 fights, man. They get ranked, get title shots, and all that shit, man. And I expect Carmen to be right in that groove too. Miranda, she got to be working hard, hitting in the gym because she's gonna get pushed. She's an action style fighter. I love watching her fight. I'm gonna buy any fight that she's on. And if it's live local, I can get to it. I'm gonna be there because it's gonna get fast track. You keep beating people, dominating people, especially knocking these girls out. They gonna push. They gonna be right there at the table. That's why I tell everybody in boxing, it's just like with money, right? If you're gonna make it to the money in boxing, and very few make it to the money, right? Mm-hmm. But if you make it to the money in boxing, look what happens. You go from Chinese noodles and dollar cold drinks.
Yeah.
To money,
to caviar,
to money, and that's why a lot of people don't know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't wealthy. I don't, give me a couple $1 million. I'm gonna fucking give it to my wife. So if she fuck it up, that's on her. I'm not fitting to. And a lot of these fighters, man, what do they know? And they get so much help from who helps them, be it the trainers and buddies or whatever. So that's why a lot of them give their money away. I hate to see that, man, but. You go from nothing to something, and nobody don't know what to do. If you're poor and you come from a poor family, or even when I say poor, middle class is you 3 months away from being poor if you lose your job. So they go from something to nothing. Well, with women's boxing, you go from something to nothing, no money, got to build up the money, but you go from a contender, you go from debut 2-3 fights to contender to champion in 10 fights, man. That's just insane. That's insane, but that's how competitive women's boxing is, and so there really is no time to waste for women in boxing. You got to be in shape. You got to be working. You got to be ready when management or your trainer says, all right, there's a WBA title eliminator, and they reached out to me. I told them, yeah, let's go. Now you're in Puerto Rico and you're like, shit, I just had 6 fights, man. What I'm doing here? We gotta go, man. You got to stay in shape. You got to be ready.
Speaking of money, you're over there with Coach K. You're over there at Prince. Do you have a management team yet, or is that something you guys thinking about? Where you at with that?
Oh yeah. Well, my manager for right now is Ryan Roach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Freddie Roses, he's kin to him, right?
We're related.
Okay, yeah. He's based in California.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure.
Oh. So when you guys sit down and talk, what's your game plan? What's it looking like for the next year or two?
The goal is to fight every month, but I don't know what's going on right now. Like I was supposed to have something for October, but he hasn't. He's busy with another fight right now, so we haven't really talked about what's next.
Well,
You
people are
got
always working behind the scenes. You know,
yeah.
sometimes
It's
as a
important.
manager, you don't want to tell the fighter exactly what's going on because we don't want to get your hopes all high and then something doesn't fall through. So we wait until we know it's concrete to
Exactly.
let you know, hey, this is what we got. So I'm sure he's making it happen behind the scenes, and like
Yeah.
That's
Coach says,
why
you just got to stay ready.
right. That's why good. That's why the fighter needs to have people around him that they know is doing the job, because
Mm-hmm.
fighters can't worry about that shit. I know it's frustrating. I know people say, "What you mean?" Listen, man, this game, the margin for error in this game is so small. Management needs to do management. Trainer needs to do training. Fighter needs to do fighting, man.
Yeah.
You got the best scenario for that is this. Fighter do the fighting and looks at the trainer as the gospel truth, right? And the manager needs to listen to the trainer when he says, man, I got this opportunity for Miranda. I got that opportunity for Miranda. I got this. And the trainer says, we want C, right? Because who knows you more than your trainer? Nobody.
Nobody.
Ability wise, right? So then if the manager understands that about the trainer, then he goes, all right, we go full-fledged for C. C is what we want. C is what we doing. Let's go. Let's push. But it's a lot of trust in that. And you got, that's why fighters falling all over themselves for representation and shit, man. Just because, I tell you, I got sent a contract one time from a manager, and a world-renowned guy. Now boxing. Now he's gonna get in boxing, right? And I got sent this contract to manage a guy I was dealing with. I read that shit. I said, wait a minute, man. I said, what the fuck is this? I said, nah, man. Not only it has nothing to do with how many fights before TV, what kind of promotion he's trying to get. This shit is all just locking you in for nothing. And I said, man, tell them stick this in their ass, man. Hey, we ain't doing that shit. You better all by yourself. So a lot of times young fighters, they jump in with people and sign contracts and shit without even asking their trainer or a lawyer. Number one, a lawyer. But I could tell you some horror stories in the boxing training community where trainers be like, Coach, I told this motherfucker, don't sign that shit. Don't go around there. He handed them $5,000 cash and signed his life away. I said, yeah, man, that shit's terrible, man. Listen to your trainer. Your trainer knows your ability. Your trainer knows what you're capable of. And your trainer has an idea where you're going, right? You together, y'all saying, we trying to do this. All right, we have a plan. Now, plans in boxing need to be, what's the word, Fresh? Where you can maneuver them. You can change them with whatever's going on. But at the same token, but at the same token, the trainer's in the gym with you. The trainer's listening and seeing what you're doing and how you're doing it. I think that trainer-manager relationship is as important as a trainer-fighter relationship. It's just different. You know what I'm saying? It's just different. Because a trainer, what the fuck do managers do, man? They'll put you in there with a killer, who done did 3 life sentences, got out on a technicality, and he don't give a fuck about you. You don't want none of that problem. Yeah, man. You've been thrown in there with the sharks, and you swimming right now. So and we on the squad. We gonna be promoting like a mother. Go ahead.
I've had my head in the fucking sand for the last couple months, man. I haven't been keeping up with boxing. I know last night I tuned in. I saw Pork Chop, and then I saw that dude Saul with that first round knockout. But what have you? Who have you been following, and who have you been admiring as far as the boxing scene right now?
As a woman, guys,
Anything,
I mean,
as a boxer.
As a boxer, I would say Mike Tyson.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people call me Lady Tyson. I guess I don't see it, but people say I fight like him, and I have his body type. I'm like, okay.
You're not out there biting people's ears off, are you?
No, not that part. But like with this fight, this last fight I had, the girl was taller, so I guess I could see where the mic person comes in me, because I have to move a lot of, my head. So that's where I guess it comes out.
Nice. What do you think about this Canelo? What do you think about this Canelo Plant? What do you think about this Canelo Plant fight coming up?
I think it's gonna be good, but I'm not sure.
Are you a Canelo fan?
Y'all really know Canelo is gonna win.
Canelo's gonna cook that boy. You can say what you want over here. Canelo's gonna cook that boy, man. He's in trouble. He shouldn't even show up. He ought to call out sick that day. It's gonna be vicious.
I love what he's doing, man. I love the energy. I love the shit talking. I love the build up. I think that's good for boxing. It's good for his marketing. It's some good shit, man. I'm looking forward to this. I think it'll be over within 6.
Plant's gonna quit inside of 6. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
He quit at weigh-ins.
Boom. Boom. Hey, guess what? Baby girl, guess what? You paying attention. You're paying attention. I'm telling everybody, man. Hey, if you watch, now let me give you some secrets. Go watch that altercation and look what you're going to see. You're going to see, first of all, when Canelo shoved that fella, for whatever reason, right? That was a half-hearted slap that he was doing. That was just because he got pushed, so he was trying not to be perceived as a punk. So he took that swipe, and Canelo slapped the shit out of that boy 3 times. Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker, when he bobbed his head like this here and looked around, and it was a little fella. It was a little fella. Go watch it. This is the part I want y'all to watch, so y'all know what I'm talking about. It was a little bitty fella. I'm gonna go ahead out on the limb and say a Mexican. I don't know because I couldn't see his face. It was a young Mexican fella. Jumped on that stage when Canelo hit him to get involved. So it might have been one of his homeboys or training partner, whatever. And when he jumped out there to go get that Plant, that motherfucking Plant turned his head and looked away as if he was confused or whatever. When really, there's nobody who knows if he's a fighter or not. Jumped up and your ass, yeah, man. And now, am I calling Plant a coward? No, that ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying there's different people that handle shit different ways.
Yeah.
And a fighting man is different than a boxer. You understand what I'm saying? Like you can box. I remember De La Hoya said once, I read De La Hoya's book 20 years ago when he put out a book. And he wrote in it was I guess like a memoir or whatever. And he was like how the kids in East LA used to pick on him and shit, right? And run him home and shit. In high school, run his ass home and he'd be scared and run home and shit. And people have the hardest time understanding that every boxer's not a tough guy. Every boxer's not a fighting man or woman, because they can survive and live inside that skill set, that rule set, right? In this ring, there's a referee that keeps this guy from killing you. Like Marvin Hagler say, the ref's only there so I don't kill your fucking ass, man. So inside this school with these gloves on, right? With the mouthpiece, I'll fight my heart out. On that concrete, ain't no rules. This motherfucker might stomp me out right here. And I ain't trying to do something. Now, I don't know that guy's background or whatever. I don't know. Maybe he was a gang member. So I don't know. But I know what I seen at that weigh-in. I mean that face off, that presser, and buddy, it shined out like it showed. It was as clear as crystal to me. I'm like, oh, buddy, you in trouble. You are in trouble because Canelo. He's gonna try to hurt your partner, and for whatever reason, he don't like you, right? You know, we all don't. You know, I got people that don't like me. Believe it or not, there's people that don't like me. Go figure. But so Canelo, I could see the disdain for this guy, right? And it could have happened just with the negotiations for this fight, how it fell out and all that. So Canelo would be like, he might be thinking, I gave you the fucking opportunity of a lifetime, and you acting like
Fuck
this,
it
and now instead of fighting in September, I gotta fight. I'm gonna hurt you now. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hurt your ass, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. This shit's gonna be pitiful. Is my prediction. I could be wrong, but I think Canelo's gonna beat the sleeves off this boy, man, real bad. And that's aside from Fresh. That's aside from the ability. That's aside from me handicapping the fight and just saying that Plant
and hurt him.
Yeah, that's aside from that shit, man. But we'll see.
Maybe
I'm wrong.
One of them Terrence Crawford ass beatings when he gets mad and mean.
Man, when you hit Terrence Crawford and he wasn't supposed to get hit by it, he gets mad. He's like, man, you motherfucker, we on TV and shit, and you hit me like that. Yeah, man. I think that shit's gonna be bad, man. What girls? What girls you? If women's boxers you watch or look like in the game right now, outside of Carmen Vargas, we know you like her.
Oh yeah. I go for Clarissa.
She got something coming up, huh?
She got an MMA fight coming up.
I know.
When is it?
That's crazy.
I think October, maybe. I think so. I don't know. I had to double check, but yeah, soon.
Michaela and what's her name? Marlene Sparsa.
Have you got to be around Michaela yet? I know she did. I know she works with Kay and them too sometimes. Yeah. Have she been around the gym?
Yeah, just like one time.
Danger sparred her too.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't tell me she hit harder than the guys like he did with you though. He said Miranda punched the shit out of me, man. Michaela's great too, man. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Marlene's world champion. Ain't enough people saying it. Marlene Esparza's world champion, man.
Yeah.
What's the message? What's your message? What's your story? What do you want people to know about you in boxing? And what's special about you that we all need to know?
I think the special part is that I don't have no amateur experience, and that people have turned their backs to me just because of that little fact, that I don't have amateur experience. And I think that's one of the things that I want people out there to know, that I mean, having amateur is great for experience or whatever, but once you cross that line, you cannot I wish I could have had amateur experience, but I don't. So it's like, this is the way I see it. You don't need to have amateur experience to be great, I've been, I'm 4-0 now. I don't have no amateur experience, but I don't want people to give their backs to me just because of that little part, And I mean, there's fighters out there that don't have amateur experience, and they're great fighters.
In basketball, there's very, very few people who come straight out of high school to go to the pros. You got people like Kobe Bryant, who was one, and he became, he's one of the greatest. And another one I can think off the top of my head is Kevin Garnett, is another Hall of Famer. So two things. One, don't ever apologize for not having an amateur career. Yeah. But two, also realize that having an amateur career is a big thing.
Yeah.
But that's how special you are, right? You're gonna bypass that and you'll go straight into the pros. You're undefeated as a pro. You're 4-0. You got a great team behind you. You have a good management team that's putting on fights. Don't apologize, but at the same time, appreciate the fact of what you're doing. You're not having an amateur fight or amateur fights is not a little thing. That's a huge thing. So when someone says, "Oh, well, she doesn't have any amateur fights," you say, "Yeah, that's right." But I'm also undefeated as a pro.
Yeah.
There was several great fighters. I ain't gonna say no amateur fight, but very little. Like I think Montana had like 8 amateur fights. Roberto Duran didn't have a gang of amateur fights, if I remember correctly. It's a bunch of guys who went on to attain world championships with limited amateur experience. You know, yeah, I agree with Fresh. Just as far as your work ethic, and your commitment. This I read this somewhere. I don't think I made this up. I think I read it somewhere. Don't let your commitment, don't let your work and commitment to what you're doing be less than your supporters. In other words, your supporter, the people who cheer for you and want you to win and want you to be successful, your trainers, the people pushing you, don't do less than them. You know what I'm saying? You got to work hard for the people who believe in you and saying, nah, man, like what Fresh just said. Recognize, all right, I didn't have no exact. Don't say so what, you know, say, damn, I ain't had no amateur fights and these people still support me and they still want me to win and they still rooting for me. Therefore, I owe it to myself to push hard and keep doing like you're doing. So I think a line of fighters don't really, I think, look at it from that perspective. Be like, they think they owed something. Like, man, I'm this and oh, man, I need the money or I need this. And that's a sour attitude. That attitude doesn't go anywhere, man.
Yeah, no.
And I like to listen to my buddy Regis when he said, man, you know how many times we fought for nothing? You know how many times me and my trainer flew somewhere post the fight and the guy didn't show up or they didn't pay us or whatever the case may be. This is a world champion. Yeah. Had he not took those licks on the chin and kept pushing and driving and fighting and saying, you know, this we didn't make no money on this fight, so therefore, fuck it. No, he said that's just a bump in the road. That's part of building up who I'm gonna become, right? And that's what I think. That's what Fresh is saying about don't belittle you're not belittling the fact that you didn't have money. Like, no, like you just said, I wish I did have amateur experience. Yeah. But let that be a part of the story, not right. The definition. Not the definition, because I didn't do it. That don't when you make it to the mountaintop, don't look back at the next little girl and say, you don't need no amateur fight. Nah. Get your ass in there and fight. You know what I'm saying? This is my story, right?
Right. That's just like you needed Coach Rocha, right? Of being in the gym and doing the running, you needed that foundation. What you're going through right now, right? And what you're gonna go through, all you're doing is building that foundation. So where you do make it to the championship level, where you are winning titles, where you are getting the money, you're gonna appreciate all that because you're going through this. You're gonna remember everyone saying, well, you know, remember when they wouldn't even look at you because I didn't have any amateur fights. Embrace it. Embrace what it is. And like Coach said, don't what did you say? Don't disregard it. Embrace it. You're right. I don't have any amateur fights. You want to accept it or not? If you don't, I'm going to prove you wrong. You got to have that, you know, that killer mentality if you want to accomplish everything that you want to accomplish, because it is a tough sport, but you're in a great spot. You're undefeated. You're young. You're 20 years old. You're in Houston. You got great coaches. You got great sparring partners. And the future is bright for you because there is a fast track for women. Yeah. And you're on there. So, you know, keep doing what you're doing. You know, we're fans. Coach is a huge fan. I'm a fan. And we're going to keep supporting and rooting for you. And anytime you fight in Houston, man, we're going to be out there screaming and shouting and hollering and, you know, having a good time.
And she's cute as a button too, so that's marketable with girls fighting, man. No, see, baby girl, I got 100%. Daughters. I got daughters way older than you. I'm not being no dirty old dude. I'm serious. That's something to sell. Smile. Smile, say hello, and be cute, and then get in that ring and be ugly like a motherfucker, stomp the shit out of somebody. That's marketable. That's what you're selling, you know, and that's I think that fine line and it's not fair. It's not fair. You shouldn't have to be cute to be successful as a fighter.
Yeah.
Completely, right?
My
Bernard,
life has been super easy because of my face.
Bernard Hopkins, right? Can you imagine if Bernard Hopkins was judged on his looks? He'd have never made it to nothing. So it's not fair. It's not fair that the girls have to deal with that. But if you have an advantage in this thing, man, you got to use all your advantages with this thing, man, because that's marketable, that's selling. So not only are you talking about like I ain't got no amateur fights and all this shit, you got a whole story, man, and we finna support you and push you 1,000% like I do with that. I'm very vocal with the women's boxing because I see that. I see it be fast tracked. It'd be like, all right, if this girl can fight, let's see. Put her in there with a champion. Let's see. Put her in there. Come on, we ain't got time to waste. And it's not fair, but life ain't fair. Life ain't fair about nothing. Especially in boxing, man. Especially in boxing. It's a hard road to hold, man. And I know you being in the gyms with is a male dominated everything. Like you said, you fighting guys, man. You gotta fight guys. I would suggest you fight guys anyway, you know, get prepared as long as it's a controlled environment or the levels are the same, you know. And if the levels are the same, they ain't overmatching you. Kick them dudes' ass, man. Kick their ass. You got to, and they get in the ring and make the, you know, the work is in the gym. I know Kay done told you this. The work is in the gym. The fight is the performance. The fight is where you get to show off. Is where you get to show everything you worked on, everything you did in order to. It really is. It really is a spectator sport, meaning it's a entertainment. You know, we get confused about boxing, thinking, you know, it's just a sport. It's just an athletic competition. Hell no. Hell no. This shit is it is actually a car crash, is what it is. It's human being car crash. It's on 290 driving, and all them people slowing down instead of going because you're trying to get somewhere and they want to look. That's what a fight is. That's what a fist fight is. It's a spectacle. So be prepared and then get to perform that night, man. And that's, as long as you're doing that, you're gonna have fun, man. You're gonna have fun with this shit. Knock these girls off.
YouTube, Facebook, we are live with Miranda Reyes, future world champion. Miranda, other than boxing, what else do you enjoy? What do you got going on in life? Are you going to school? Are you working? What is it? What else in life do you want to accomplish outside of boxing?
Yeah, well, I want to finish my career. You know, I'm in college right now. That's another thing I want to do. A lot of people don't know this out there, but I also like music, and people tell me I'm a great singer. And well, they tell me, how come you didn't go for music instead of boxing? I'm like, no, I like boxing more than music.
What kind of music?
It's something that I would really like to, you know, do. And I guess those are my 3 dreams. Like, do something with music and boxing and finish my career.
What kind of music do you like listening to or singing? Is it Spanish, English, rap?
Everything.
Everything?
Yeah.
Nice. Right. Well, you know what? Shit, we ain't never had a singing boxer before, huh?
I know, right? I'll probably be the first one.
You get to a concert and beat the shit out of somebody after.
Right.
Hey, I ain't gonna say nothing, but you might be in the right place for music too. Shit, who knows? Yeah. You might be in the right spot.
Yeah.
So you don't know. You waiting on management to let you know what's the next. What's the next move, man? It seems like you got a good support system. You got a hell of a corner, hell of a trainers, hell of a fans, and me and Fresh, we gonna support you every time you fight. You're working with Carmen, working with Issa Marie, all these girls, man. I tell you, as long as you do the work, I don't see no reason why you're not gonna be successful. There's no reason, man. You just gotta remember what I'm saying. You know, don't let your commitment be less than the people who support you. Mm-hmm. And to be sitting in a situation and man, it really is as a fighter. As a fighter, you really do have a great situation, man. And you got to maximize that. as you are, man. I'm glad you came on here, man. Give me your hell, who's your top 3 pound for pound right now?
My what?
Top 3 pound for pound fighters right now.
I'm not sure.
Well, Canelo #1, sure, of course. But,
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Who else are you looking at? Man, that's Shakur Stevens, man. Stevenson, you watching him, man. That's some special shit. That's some special shit right there. You looking at, man.
Yeah, I do watch him for sure.
What you think's gonna happen with him and Herring? Think it'd be competitive? You see, he's fighting Herring for the title, right? They fight for a title, huh?
Yeah.
Man, I like that Herring guy, but man, that Shakur Stevens, man.
I think I'm gonna go with Shakur for sure.
Yeah, man. God, oh, bro. It's like he's got the cheat codes or something. That dude when he's fighting, that kid is very, very special in the ring, man. Yeah. Very, very special in the ring, and I think it's gonna be a hell of a fight. Who you paying attention to Wilder and Fury?
No.
You don't care about the heavyweights.
When is that fight, man?
2 weeks. You got two highly touted heavyweights in the gym you in. Jared Anderson and Effie. Yeah. They both fighting on that card too, man. How good is
that card?
Yeah. It's like a heavyweight palooza over there with that card, man. They putting everybody. What you think about Jared Anderson, man? You watch him fight?
Yeah.
What you think?
He's a good fighter.
That's a big dude who moves like a little dude, man. Mm-hmm. The way he fights, till you actually standing with the guy, you really don't even see how big he is till you standing next to him. And you're like, oh, this is a big ass dude moving like this, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Is he young? He got to be young, huh? He can't be no 20, early 20s, maybe. He got to be a young guy too, man. He fights like a young guy. Too big to be fighting like that, boy. It's got to be frustrating. I haven't been able to see him and Effie spar. I'm sure they do. I haven't got to see it yet, though. Every time I'm up there, they never working together. That's what I want to see spar. Yeah. Them two big boys, man. You got examples of great boxing all throughout that gym, man. Yourself, those boys, Issa Marie, all that stuff. And none of y'all fight the same either.
Yeah, everybody's different.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the thing about Houston, man. That's the thing about Houston that we've always said that Houston has been a mecca for boxing, man. Here the last at least
it's
10
great
years,
trainers,
everyone,
man. It's great trainers out there.
A lot of talent, a lot of great coaches, a lot of great talent. Motherfuckers from all over the country coming out here to spar and train.
All them people in our gym ain't from here. Look at them. None of them's from here, I don't think, huh? Are you from Houston, baby?
Yeah.
So there's you. Who else is from Houston in there? Shakur's from New Jersey. Jared.
Yeah, everybody's from
Ohio.
All over the place.
Yeah, man. And Issa Marie ain't from here. Huh? She's from San Antonio, I think.
San Antonio, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you in a great
There's
position,
that eight,
man.
baby. There's that eight.
That's what's happening, man.
Boxing.
Well, let people know where they can follow you, man. We want to get people to follow you and start supporting everything you're doing.
Well, thank you for having me on the show.
We appreciate you coming on.
Tell them what's your Instagram.
Underscore is _ Mira.
Where do y'all come up with these names, man? I try to find people on Instagram, man, and they got all. I say, man, what they rappers or something? They got all these rap names.
They don't want to be found. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
to be found.
You want to be on it, but don't want to be seen.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I was trying to tag. I was trying to tag one of my own fighters in something. I say, man, I'm typing your name, man. you ain't never. Oh, that's cause my name is. What the fuck is? Why is that your name, man? This is your name right here, man. You running from the law? What you doing, bro? But yeah, we're gonna be supporting you, man. You need to be the first fighter who sings the national anthem. Go back, get ready, and come out and bang somebody out. Yeah, that's what you need to do. I appreciate you coming on, baby. Let us know.
Got any boxing tonight?
Yeah, at noon.
Who's boxing it?
Anthony Joshua versus Usyk, Alexander Usyk, man, for the heavyweight title. It starts it's English time, so it starts at noon, and they'll probably fight around 3 or 4 o'clock, something like that.
Oh, okay, I gotta catch that.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. Well, again, Miranda, thank you for coming on. We're excited to watch your journey, watch you be successful. Every time you're in Houston, we're going to be in the stands rooting for you, and hopefully, as you become more and more successful, you'll come and give us post-fight interviews and spend some time with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Never go Hollywood. keep it Hollywood. Never go Hollywood. Shit. All right, baby. Good talking to you.
All right, y'all.
We'll
see y'all next week.
Right.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Hey guys, this is Coach Derek. I want to give a shout out to our new sponsor, Pueblo Boxing. Y'all be sure to check out Pueblo Boxing. They have unique and high quality boxing gear and novelty gifts. You can find the gear at soloboxing.com. That's SOLO boxing.com. Check it out, man. They do quality work.